You've heard the stories about the Bermuda Triangle, right? Whispers of sea monsters, lost cities, alien abductions. But what if the truth is even scarier? The latest scientific evidence shows there isn't one single explanation. Instead, it points to a perfect storm of killer waves, tricky magnetic fields, and an ocean floor so deep it hides its secrets forever. These forces work together to make ships and planes just vanish. Forget the myths. We're about to show you the real reasons ships disappear in the Bermuda Triangle. Section 1. The Legend of the Lost Patrol. To really get the fear surrounding the Bermuda Triangle, you have to know the story that started it all. And no story is more famous or more chilling than the disappearance of Flight 19. On December 5th, 1945, 5 TBM Avenger torpedo bombers lifted off from Fort Lauderdale, Florida, for a routine training flight. Leading the formation was Lieutenant Charles Taylor, a pilot with about 2,500 flight hours. It was a simple three-leg navigational exercise over the Atlantic. 14 men were on board, many of them trainees just about to graduate. The first part of the mission went smoothly. But about an hour and a half in, a strange radio call came into the control tower. It was Lieutenant Taylor. He sounded confused. He said both of his compasses were broken. He thought he was over the Florida Keys, but he was hundreds of miles off course. The air traffic controllers were baffled. Their data showed Flight 19 was exactly where it should be, east of Florida. But Taylor, convinced his instruments had failed, was flying blind. Over the next few hours, radio operators could only listen as the pilot's confusion turned into outright panic. Taylor, tragically disoriented, led his squadron further and further out into the open ocean, thinking he was heading for the mainland. The weather, which had been clear, started to get rough. The other pilots, trusting their commander, followed him right into a growing storm. Their last radio calls were faint, swallowed by static, as they talked about low fuel and a violent sea. And then, silence. The search and rescue operation was huge, covering over 300,000 square miles of ocean, with hundreds of ships and planes. A PBM Mariner seaplane, with a 13-man crew, was sent to join the search. Just minutes after takeoff, it also vanished from radar. A ship in the area later reported seeing a huge ball of fire in the sky that fell into the ocean. It's believed the Mariner, a plane nicknamed the Flying Gas Tank for its tendency to build up explosive fuel vapors, blew up in midair. After days of searching, not a single piece of wreckage from the 5 Avenger bombers was ever found. No life rafts, no oil slicks, nothing. It was as if they, and the plane sent to find them, had been completely erased. This single event cemented the legend of the Bermuda Triangle in the public's mind as a place where the rules of nature don't apply. Section 2. The Myths and the Usual Suspects. With no wreckage and no answers, wild speculation rushed in to fill the void. For decades, the explanations have been pretty out there. Alien collectors, leftover energy crystals from Atlantis, and time-bending vortexes. These theories are exciting and make for fantastic movies. But they're not the truth. The truth is both simpler and, in a way, much more terrifying. The real monsters in the Bermuda Triangle aren't mythical beasts or aliens. It's a deadly cocktail of natural forces, a conspiracy of nature that creates the perfect conditions for disaster. The US Navy and Coast Guard have been saying it for years. There's nothing supernatural going on out there. Their experience points to a combination of nature's power and human error. So, what does the science actually say? What are the ingredients in this perfect storm? We're about to break down the 3 main scientific reasons that make this patch of ocean so dangerous. These are the real-world explanations that have replaced the myths. If you're fascinated by what's really going on, take a moment to subscribe and hit that notification bell. We skip the fiction and give you the real story, backed by science every single time. Section 3. The Science. Ingredient 1. Violent, unpredictable weather. The first ingredient is the weather. The Bermuda Triangle is sliced in half by the Gulf Stream, a massive, powerful current of warm water that flows from the Gulf of Mexico into the North Atlantic. This current is like a river in the ocean, and its warmth fuels incredibly volatile weather. A beautiful sunny day can turn into a violent storm in just a few hours, catching even the most experienced sailors completely off guard. The majority of Atlantic tropical storms and hurricanes pass directly through this area. But it's not just hurricanes. Scientists are also looking at something called rogue waves. For a long time, sailors' stories of a single, impossibly huge wave appearing out of nowhere were dismissed as myths. We now know they're very real. The Bermuda Triangle is a place where storm systems can slam into each other from different directions. When waves from these storms merge, their energy can combine to create a monstrous wave that can reach heights of up to 100 feet. Simulations have shown what happens when a rogue wave hits a large ship, like the USS Cyclops, a Navy vessel that vanished in the Triangle in 1918, with 306 people on board. A wave could lift a long ship in such a way that its bow and stern are on two different wave peaks, with no support in the middle. The stress could snap the ship in half, sinking it in minutes, too fast to even send a distress call. While there's no direct proof a rogue wave sank the Cyclops, science shows it's a terrifyingly plausible way for a massive ship to disappear without a trace. Section 4. The science. Ingredient 2. Navigational traps and human error. The second ingredient is a mix of navigational challenges and the human errors they cause. For centuries, sailors used magnetic compasses. But these compasses point to the magnetic North Pole, not the geographic North Pole. This difference is called magnetic declination, and navigators are trained to account for it. Here's the twist. The Bermuda Triangle historically sat on what's called an agonic line, a rare line on the Earth's surface where true north and magnetic north perfectly align. For a navigator used to always correcting for declination, suddenly having their compass point true could be disorienting. While scientific surveys confirm there are no mysterious magnetic anomalies in the region, this natural compass variation was just another factor that could throw an unprepared pilot or captain off course. This brings us back to Flight 19. The official Navy report suggested that Lieutenant Taylor, facing malfunctioning compasses and likely confused by his location, thought he was over the Florida Keys. Believing he was in the Gulf of Mexico, he made the fatal call to fly northeast, thinking it would take him back to Florida. Instead, it took him deeper into the vast, empty Atlantic until his fuel ran out. It wasn't a supernatural force that doomed Flight 19. It was a tragic mix of instrument failure and human disorientation in a place where navigation can be deceptively tricky. Section 5. The science. Ingredient 3. An unforgiving ocean. The final ingredient is the ocean floor itself. The Bermuda Triangle is home to some of the world's deepest underwater trenches, including the Puerto Rico Trench, located just east of the Triangle's main area, which plunges to depths of nearly 28,000 feet. If a ship or plane goes down here, the wreckage can sink for miles, far beyond the reach of normal search and recovery efforts. Making matters worse is the Gulf Stream. This powerful current moves so fast that it can scatter debris over a huge area, making it almost impossible to find an accident site. The ocean literally swallows the evidence, carrying the pieces away before a search can even get organized. This is a strong theory for what happened to the USS Cyclops. The ship was carrying over 10,000 tons of heavy manganese ore. Some historians believe the ship was overloaded. If it hit a major storm and was struck by a rogue wave, the unstable cargo could have shifted, causing the ship to capsize and sink instantly into the deep ocean, leaving no trace. This explanation, combining potential human error, overloading, with extreme natural forces, is far more likely than any paranormal event. So, what's the real secret of the Bermuda Triangle? There isn't just one. The reason ships and planes vanish here is a perfect storm of scientifically backed realities. It's a region with a huge volume of traffic. The National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, NOAA, states there is no evidence that disappearances occur more frequently here than in any other large, well-traveled part of the ocean. What makes the Bermuda Triangle legend so powerful is the deadly combination of factors. The Gulf Stream fueling violent, unpredictable weather and rogue waves, the natural compass variations that can lead to catastrophic human error, and an incredibly deep, fast-moving ocean that erases the evidence. The real mystery isn't that so many have been lost, it's that we ever expected to find them. The legend of the Bermuda Triangle is a chilling reminder that even in our high-tech world, the combined forces of nature and human fallibility are and always have been the most powerful and unforgiving force on Earth.